name is Joe Liggett, one of the leaders here at Ember. Ember is really just a city church ministry for the church at large, for lack of a better term. You know, we really believe in praying for the leadership of the church in Toledo and the surrounding areas, and it's really a ministry that is focused on the presence of the Lord above everything else, to be a house of prayer and a generation that's seeking the face of God. It sort of was just birthed out of another college ministry group. And out of that group, there was sort of a remnant, if you will, that were really hungry for the things of God. And so Ember was sort of birthed out of that. So Ember has been a Toledo ministry, and we've moved it around over the years as the Holy Spirit has led it. We've been at several different places, churches and other buildings that weren't churches too. Within the few hours that we gather or whatever on a Tuesday night, anything can happen. We've seen miracles, we've seen deliverance, we've seen salvations, we've seen, the prophetic, we've seen so many different things, outbreaks of joy and dancing, we've seen times of weeping, we've seen so many different things because we're so open to the Holy Spirit. And when you make yourself available to what God's agenda is rather than your own, that's when power really can happen. I've been with Ember since the beginning. It was just something that the Lord called me to do at the time. I really didn't know what He wanted me to do with my life. I just was hungry for God. And so this was something that I just stepped into sort of, scared a little bit, because I had never preached. I'd never even asked God to make me a preacher or a leader. I really just prayed this simple prayer: Lord, use me, I'll do anything you want. That can be a dangerous prayer. If we're not careful, because God will use us. He'll take us up on what we say. Two components of the DNA of Ember, if you will, have been blessing this city in prayer and declaration, and praying for unity in the church in Toledo. And what I mean by the church in Toledo, for those who may not know, is when we look in the New Testament, they spoke of the church on a city level. It was the church of Galatia, the church of Corinth, the church of Thessalonica, the church of Ephesus, so the church of Toledo. The church isn't one building. The church is the people of God in a region and a nation and in the earth. We've been strategic about blessing this city. One of the core verses of my life is Proverbs 11:11, which says that through the blessing of the righteous, a city is exalted, but through the mouth of the wicked it's destroyed. And I believe that the Lord is using the church in Toledo to be a shining example of what He wants for His people and His leadership and His church across America and across the world.